Okay, are we ready? Okay, let's call the meeting of the Board of Trustees to order. And we're going to start out with community and public comment. Is there anybody on the phone for us?
No.
Thank you. Jason, please.
So, the resolution today as far as the exploration of the near kitchen as well as the and culinary program. You know, we're exploring the idea of a new facility, and you know, we've worked up cost analysis and things, you know, beneficial to the college and working at that, but you know, a lot more exploration to look at and do as we continue to look at that program and what that does for us. So,
Anybody have a comment? Questions? Okay. Yes, sir.
For most of you know me, I'm Tom Harvey, the Director of Planning for the county, and I guess just recognize, you know, the county recognizes this is an opportunity, obviously, for the college and to grow your culinary program if that's, you know, appropriate. So as Jason introduced, this is we the county have about $10,000, no, exactly $10,000 left on the contract we have with Labella Associates for preparation of the updated 2024 FLCC Facilities Master Plan. So what we would do is, you know, if the board sees fit to pass this resolution, I'm bringing a proposal forward to the Public Works Committee of the Board of Supervisors next Monday to allow me to spend that last $10,000 on taking a formal look at this and integrating it into as an update to the facilities master plan, which will come back to this board, which will come back to the Board of Supervisors and we'll all do our due diligence and say whether it's a good idea or it's a priority project or not. So, you know, the rest of it is obvious, that as it has been proposed and also going to the committee for Public Works Committee on next Monday, the 30th, is recognizing that this is a little bit over, is currently envisioned a $22 million project, that we hope will be half funded construction by SUNY if it's included in the facilities master plan and the capital plan, and then the other half be funded, the local share, if you will, through donations from, and we'll say it out loud, the Sands Family Trust and the Canandaigua Area Development Corporation, which holds title to the 2.45 acre piece of property that we've talked about. So, you know, again, board is, you know, making sure that the Board of Supervisors wants to make sure that the college has done its due diligence and it makes sense for your programs. But all these things are kind of moving in parallel at the same time with an expectation that if it does get approved, we would put in a construction request to SUNY this fall for inclusion in next year's budget. Fair enough.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Tom, could you just kind of elaborate a little bit more about the SUNY and the match and how that's going to work based on the donor and those kind of things?
Based on the donor.
Yeah, how it's going to work with the donor and so forth.
So, there's more steps than I want to recite right now. But you know, it's a good point, Dr. Nye. Thank you for bringing that up. So land contributions, even if we don't buy it, if they're donated, the value of the land has to be substantiated by 2 independent appraisals. It has to come to this board and the county for approval to acquire. It's got to go to the SUNY Board of Trustees to approve the acquisition. Then the value of that land can be counted as part of the local share. They believe it's somewhere around a $1.6 million value of that property. Then the remainder of the local share has been talked about as a donation from the Sands Family Trust. So, is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, there's kind of a Byzantine approach to this, that to get it through, it's not a standard SUNY
Oh,
match.
God, no.
In terms of the donor says, here's 22 million, for instance.
Yeah, we gotta go through the secret process and make no mistake about it, that site all along that we're talking about, formerly Pinnacle North, and I'll drill into a little detail here. That was an approved plan unit development in the city of Canandaigua because no construction has gone on it past phase one. That approval has lapsed. It's subject to the city zoning. This is an allowed use under the city zoning. It is a known brownfield. However, there is an approved remediation and management plan. So those costs to bring utilities and follow the management plan in doing so, build the foundations for the building, all that is incorporated into the construction budget estimate and project cost estimates that we have. So
There also
it's
be,
all approved by DEC in terms of the management plan.
so just resolutions too, that the board will need to approve to move. If the land is donated to the college would then approve a resolution to donate that or have it held in trust by the county, that it then gets transferred to the county. So there's a couple steps when.
And the board,
land
and the SUNY Board of Trustees
And the
is in
board
there
of
too.
trustees. So there's a few steps with the land, but then the building will also be discussed as well. So
I think the other side of that, and really important, is we've had preliminary discussions with SUNY, through them, DASNY, the Dormitory Authority of the State of New York, that provides through bonding, but the state's share of most of the construction projects involving SUNY and community colleges and their bond council. So, there's no final submission, but they don't see any hurdles moving forward with the state share.
Very good. Jamie?
Well, my piece seems quite a bit easier, Tom, than yours, quite frankly. We, as soon as this was kind of brought, to our attention, from a faculty point of view, both Patrick and I were both very excited about this because we have some limitations in our current space, right? It's more, certainly New York Kitchen right now is more of a residential kitchen, a nice residential kitchen, right? I grant you. But it certainly is not commercial. And part of us training students to go out into the field really is going to require them working on commercial equipment. So when I put the equipment list together, we really looked at making sure that we have commercial equipment, right, that's going to be available to our students there. As well as, right, New York Kitchen would also have use of said equipment for, public classes, right, which would allow them to expand their repertoire of classes. Again, I think what is going to separate us from other programs in the future is not always just faculty. We're not concerned about that, right? I'm entering year 40 of my experience now, as is Chef Ray. And so I think we have that piece down, right? It's the facility that is also going to help us sell seats in a program. When Patrick arrived here, I appointed him the ambassador to post or secondary school programs, because that's where he came from, right? And part of what made him such an attractive candidate to us. So he goes out to the BOCES programs every year and does some recruiting and also asks the tough questions. So the tough questions are, well, why are you passing us by, right? What are we missing? One of those pieces is a baking and pastry program, right? Which many of our both four-year and community college counterparts offer, right? We simply do not, in our current location, have the equipment that would be necessary to facilitate something like that. I think another important piece to this, and the thing that's got me particularly excited, is the ability for us to offer, both along with the professionals that New York Kitchen is working with, but also bringing Cornell Cooperative Extension, particularly the Ontario County chapter, into that mix is really, really great, right? And we set up our current professional work experience model with that in mind, right? Where associate students need to work 600 hours of related work experience in order to get the degree. That can happen the way that I have that set up in a number of different ways, right? They can keep their job at Wegmans or a local restaurant or whatever it is they do. They can also attend classes. They can attend lectures. They can go to some of the public classes that are offered down there in New York Kitchen. In many of those, particularly what I think Cooperative Extension is interested in extending, really would be a very enriching experience for them, right? Learning how to preserve foods, learning how to pickle, learning how to, demonstrate, right, more reasonably priced food offerings, right, for people that are in low income type of situations. There's so much of that will be a part of this that I think will really be significant. Additionally, we are also in the process of getting a wine service certificate that we're going to push through here. And so, right, working in that tasting room and going to some of New York Kitchen's vastly improved array of beverage classes will also be an important piece to that puzzle because they'll have a similar work requirement. So there are so many upsides to this for our program and for me personally to do what I came to do, which is to build the best program in New York State. That was my goal when I got here, and it remains my goal today. And I'm excited about this possibility, not only for a new facility, but really to be able to expand and offer more of those opportunities to our students. That really is what's going to set us apart, right? Not just now, but in the future as well.
It's a thrill to hear you talk that way.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm being nice, right? I told Dr. Nye, I said, I want to run Monroe out of town. Because I am a little bit competitive. I don't know that I'll say that beyond these walls.
And you did.
Yeah. It's on the record.
But no, it really is just so exciting because I think we're going to be able to offer folks something that other people just don't have. And given our demographics, right, which Carol talks about quite often, we get many folks that are looking for a retooling, right, of their skills. They want a second career. To do an internship, they're not going to go work in some restaurant and get out at 2:00. And that's just not going to happen, right? So many of them end up doing their work experience in New York Kitchen, serving as lab assistants and that. In fact, I was talking to Laura Downey, their education chair down there today, and 2/3 of their education assistants are our students at this point, right? So that again speaks volumes to how that partnership has evolved.
Great. Anybody have any questions?
Well, Donna just got here, so
Yeah. I'm hoping we'll have a large enough facility that we can do some culinary competitions.
That certainly is a possibility. That is on our radar.
Yeah.
Can you do that beef one that you said you go to each year?
Well, it'll be set up well enough, you know, we used to do, when I was at Delhi, we used to do a competition weekend, right? That was ACF sanctioned, it was professionals, it was, also students that were involved in that competition. And I have the judges, right? I got people that'll judge for me, whenever.
Wait a
And-
minute, I was gonna volunteer, especially when.
Interestingly enough, when we ran that competition, we had a large contingent of professionals from the Rochester area that actually used to come down to Delhi and compete. You know, there is that possibility, as well as doing less formal things, Tom, where we would be happy to have you.
But you do have a scotch tasting session coming up.
I do. It's my encore performance. That is tomorrow at 2:00. So.
I already signed up Mrs. Harvey for the pastry curricula, so just kidding.
So you may have already discussed this. What's the capacity that you think you could get to with the new facility?
You know, that's hard to say, without a crystal ball handy. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility, to come close to doubling our current numbers. Baking and pastry especially, to pay a little homage to one of Dr. Nye's concerns, may not always be, something that people, are going to finish, right? In other colleges, it's the same way. A lot of people get really interested in it, then they realize it's not Cake Boss, so, right, but having other opportunities for those students is gonna keep them here, right? And keep them enrolled with us. That was a big part of our wine service certificate, right? Is there are many people who go, well, I want to do a second career in wine, right? And then they find themselves out in their well eats, right? Pruning grapevines in the middle of the winter, and it's not so fun anymore. So they drop out, right? They say, okay, I don't need to do that. And this will give them that opportunity. And I think it's the same thing. But Patrick, and he's in New Hampshire, but he tells me that it's, the BOCES that he's visiting, it's in the neighborhood of 20-25 students a year that are saying, no, we're driving past FLCC to do this baking and pastry thing someplace else. So if I could get half of those, that's a cohort that would go through that.
Anyone else? Okay, I'd like a motion to accept the resolution on the consent agenda.
I'll move that.
You have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried.
Anything else that you would like to have the board discuss?
No, sir.
Okay.
No? Oh. Jeff?
Would you like a motion to adjourn?
No, not yet.
Okay.
No, we'd like to congratulate you.
Me?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
You remember the name of it? Which one?
I'm Winnie.
Winnie Jr.
You have won the Donald Mawhinney Award from NYCCT.
Whoa. Well, thank you.
Get an all expense paid trip to NYCCC. Accept your award, Jesse.
You'll have to drive your own car, right?
Just bring your golf club with you.
Yeah, okay. That I can do. Well, thank you. That didn't caught me totally by surprise.
That's good. That's good.
That was the plan.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
I'll move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And thank all of you. Appreciate it.